My name is Jan. I'm going to demonstrate how you need to set up your desktop if you want the Warren Buffett spreadsheet to automatically download the data from internet. This would really make your life a lot easier because you don't have to download everything manually and copy and paste it from the websites into the worksheet. Before we can continue with this, we need to make sure that we have Google Chrome installed. The web sheet is also using Google Chrome to interface with the websites. So that is a very important software package. If you don't have it installed on your system, you need to install it now before you can continue with this. Also note that this is my laptop, which is freshly installed with Windows 10. And the only software basically what's on here is Google Chrome, OBS Studio for recording this session, and Microsoft Excel. There is no other software on the system installed. Alright, so make sure you have Google Chrome installed, and let's start with the installation of the required third-party software. So let's go to the appropriate website to download Selenium. Selenium is a package which is used by the macro to interface with the websites on the internet. And if you go to Google and key in Selenium VBA download, the first hit you will find is this website. So we click that, and then eventually you will get here. It's a very simple website, and if we scroll down a little bit, we click the release page. And on the release page, you find one executable, which is Selenium Basic. We need to download and install that. So click it. And on the bottom here, you're gonna have to open when done. So it executes when it's done downloading. And somehow on my laptop, it takes a while to open files. I'm not sure why, but downloading goes pretty fast. But once it's downloaded, it takes a while. So in the meantime, I'm gonna talk a little bit about this Selenium basic package. As you can see, it's not that large, it's only 22 megabytes. And it comes from 2016, which is rather old. There are no updates since 2016. And maybe some people would say that's not so good because there's no development on it anymore. It's not good for security. You can also look at it from a different perspective, and that is that it works really good and there were no updates required anymore. So I tend to look at it from the second perspective. All right, so in the meantime, the installation window has showed up. So we click next, we accept the agreement, click next again, click next and install. And it goes out and installs the software. Alright, so that was fast. So this is done now. What we now need to do is we need to go to a different website and download the Chrome driver. So Chrome driver download. And the first hit is the page we're after. Chrome driver. Go here. So this is also a very simple website. It has a few versions of the Chrome driver available for you to download, and that depends on the version of Chrome you're running. You have to find your version and do this by clicking the three dots and then go to Help and then About Google Chrome. And as you can see here, I'm running on version 104. On the website, we see that there must be some Google Chrome 105 available somewhere on the earth, but somehow Google has decided to not give me that latest version. So what I need to do is I need to download this 104 version, but you might have to download the 105 or 103 version. It just depends on the version of Chrome you have installed. Right, so click that. This gives me this page. And as you can see, there are different versions again. The one we're after is for Windows, and there's only a 32-bit binary available. Even if you're running a 64-bit machine, you're going to have to use the 32-bit, simply because there is no 64-bit available. Alright, it's downloaded. Open that. And here Windows has now conveniently opened the zip for me, and we can see the Chrome driver. So we select that and we copy it with Ctrl+C, and we have to download it to the appropriate place. And the appropriate place is my user directory. So my user directory is located on the C drive here under users. On your system, this could be on a different drive. It depends a bit. 99 times out of 100 it's on the C drive, but if you have some sort of different installation of Windows, it could be another drive. So you have to look for the users directory. In my case, it's on the C, and I open my user directory, which is Jan. And we're looking for the app data folder, which is not in here. But that's not because it's not there, it's because it's hidden. So if we want to see it, we need to unhide it. And you do this by going to View here on top, and then click Hidden Items. Alright, so once that's selected, you can actually see no difference here on the left-hand menu. But if I click my user directory, I can actually see now the app data is visible, and I can click it. So now we go to Local, and we go to Selenium Basic, which is just been installed. And remember I talked about the year it comes from, 2016. This is the Chrome driver which is provided by Selenium itself, but it is old and it's not the correct version for your Chrome. So we're gonna paste the version we've downloaded over it, and we're gonna replace the file in the destination. So now that's done. This is in place. This is the newest version compliant with my version of Chrome. Alright, so we've now installed all the software. This can go and this can go. And we go to the Warren Buffett spreadsheet. The Warren Buffett spreadsheet is on my D drive here on my USB stick. And as you can see, the extension ends on an M, and that means that there are macros in the Warren Buffett spreadsheet embedded. So that's how you can see if there are macros in there. So we double click that and it opens. Most of the time it gives an error message saying, hey, there's macros in here. Do you want me to enable it or leave it disabled? Because I already opened this file earlier before I started recording this demonstration, it doesn't display that warning anymore. But if you open this for the first time, you can see that warning. In fact, if I close this and I rename this to something else with a 1 behind, for example, and I double click it, you see the warning here. See, macros have been disabled. This is actually a good thing because Microsoft is trying to prevent malicious users breaking your system, because with macros you can really damage systems. So you would have to click enable content in here. Alright, so I'm going to close this and I'm going to rename that back and open that. Alright, so now we're in the spreadsheet and everything should be ready to automatically retrieve the data. If I scroll a little bit to the right, you can see the data section. This is what it's all about regarding the robot. So the sheet has all kinds of cross links with this section where the data is supposed to be filled in. And also on the left hand side there are some fields which are automatically populated by the robot, which is the stock price, and it is these two guys here, the interest rates and the discount rate. Alright, so if I want to run the macro, which is embedded in this sheet, I'm gonna have to make a small change to the ribbon here, because we are missing one. We're missing the developer tab. So if I go to File and then go to Options and then go to Customize Ribbon, yeah, you see the developer here is not checked. So you need to check that and click OK. Once you click OK, you have your developer tab here and you can click that. So that is what we're after. So what we now need to do is we need to enter a ticker from a stock on the American Stock Exchange. For example, Copart, CPRT. All right. And I'm gonna run the macro and let the macro do its job. So I'm gonna scroll a little bit to the right here, so we can see the macro populating the fields. I'm gonna go to macros here and run it. This is the macro which goes to the internet and downloads all the data and puts it in the appropriate place in the sheet. So I'm gonna run it. Alright, so as you can see, it starts a browser and starts going to specific websites to retrieve that data. As you can see, it's quite a lot of work, and although you can do everything manually, it's gonna take a while if you know where to get it. So this is automatically downloading it. And as you can see, it's making some progress here in the background. Also note that once this is running, there's nothing you can do with Excel. Excel is a single threaded application, as we call it, and it can only do one thing at a time. So you cannot click it, or you can click it, but nothing is happening because it's running the robot in the background. So it's almost finishing here. Goes to Yahoo for the last piece of data. And sometimes it takes a while because the robot waits for advertisements to be ready, to be loaded and displayed. Alright, so there seems to be no dividend paid for this share, which is a little bit strange, but okay. I'm gonna check that later. And here on the left hand side, you see the date of the analysis. So this is now. You can see the actual stock price and you can see the rates here. So that's all fine. And on the right hand side, you can see here the quality of the company. But that's outside the scope of this demonstration. All right, so you can save this, save as something you want to have it named. For example, CPRT, numbers CPRT, right? Okay, so now it's saved. Be careful, yeah, it's all fine. And now this is saved, we can use another company for demonstration purposes. For example, Thor Industries. Before we run the macro again, we're going to have to make sure that all the fields which were populated by the previous run are deleted. Because it could be that, for example, if specific websites are not retrieving any data, on the right hand side here, you end up with data from different companies mixed to each other. And you don't want that. So it's best to always make sure you delete this. Alright, so that's that, all done. And now we're gonna set this on the left hand side so we can see this being populated. Alright, we're gonna run it again and see what happens. So it goes to the Wall Street Journal again because it needs to find the exchange on which it's trading. You can see the price is being populated here, right? $92. And it starts out going to the Morningstar website for retrieving data for the right side of this sheet. So now we just have to wait. And you can actually see that it's browsing and clicking away. All right, there we go. Now the data section is being populated and the sheet starts updating the numbers here on this part of the sheet. All right, almost done. This is Yahoo is the last page where it goes out. Okay, it's done now. And you see the right hand side is filled again. Now it has dividends collected for this stock, so that's all good. And you can see the results of the sheet in here as well. All right, so we're going to save this as well under a different name. Browse numbers THO. All right, so that's all done now. So this way you can do all the stocks you want to do, and yeah, make yourself a better trader. All right, that was it for now. Good luck for viewing this demonstration, and happy trading. Bye bye.